So you're going to first look at the HCF that we learned the other day, right? So if you remember the first level was where we learned HCF using prime factorization. You would be needing that in the second exercise of NCERT, right? And then the second thing that we did was HCF using long division method. And that method has to be used to rewrite the HCF using the Euclid's division algorithm, which is A is equal to BQ plus R. Okay, so where I told you, if you remember, that A and B are any two real numbers, and Q is the quotient, R is the remainder. Yeah, so we're going to begin our session with one example. So what I want you to do is so my question to you is, find the HCF of 420 and 66. Okay, so that's the question. All of you can try doing it. If you could keep your videos on, that would be really nice, because then I can see you working. It makes my job as a teacher a little more easy, and it satisfies.
Ma'am,
66, yeah. So
the
the
answer
question
6.
is,
The answer, ma'am, 6.
don't reveal the answer. Wait. So you have to find the HCF of 420 and 66 using the Euclid's division algorithm. Okay, so you have to use the Euclid's division algorithm. So the questions will always be specific, children. They would tell you which method to use, right? So the question is, find the HCF of 420 and 66 using Euclid's division algorithm. That means you have to put it in the form of A is equal to BQ plus R. So these are the two numbers. I can see some of you have just joined in. Find HCF. I'll give you a minute. Find HCF of 420 and 66 using Euclid's division algorithm. Now, to be able to, the hint is to be able to put it in the form of A is equal to BQ plus R, you should first write it in the long division method that we discussed last class. So, anyone who's already done it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you must have already written the answer, right? So, Yadunandan?
Is the answer 6?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, the answer is 6. Yeah.
Ma'am, I don't think we can text you. Can you?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we are not able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, it's showing only class 10 KB and Lakshmi Priya. Only we can chat only with both of them. That's what it's showing.
Okay. So I don't know what to do. I think it's the admin problem. We'll manage like this time. Okay, I'll talk to them later.
Okay.
So Yadunandan, if you can share your answer, or else maybe, yeah, we'll proceed. Are you doing it, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'll stop sharing mine so that you can. Very good. Have you done the long division first?
No, ma'am.
No, you've done it directly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. For people who are not able to do it directly, actually, a lot of us find it difficult to write like this. So what you can do is, as told to you in the last class, you can actually first do the long division and then put it in this form. Okay, so very good, brilliant, Yadunandan.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'll just share the long division answer for everybody, so that there shouldn't be any.
Ma'am, with the examination in as a reference point, can we? So we have to write the long division method. Then we have to write the division level.
No. So the long division method that's being shown on the screen, there are no marks for it. So these kind of questions come for 3 marks, and all your 3 marks are entirely for putting it in the form of A is equal to BQ plus R.
So can we just directly put it in division level form?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So if you're able to do it, great. But generally, most people find it difficult. So this is the general approach. So do it in long division method as shown on the screen, and then each step put it as A equal to BQ plus R. Okay. So as you can see there, 6 is the HCF. This is the long division one. And after you do this, you have to rewrite it again in the form of A equal to BQ plus R. Is it necessary? Is the step necessary? No, it's not. Am I audible? Any doubts, children?
Ma'am, we are unable to text you.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I'll just.
No, you are not
I
the
can't.
host, I guess. Yeah.
What did you say?
Ma'am, you should be host.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes. So that is the problem. I don't know what's happening.
You may ask Lakshmi ma'am to meet you.
Definitely. See, I think we will not waste time on that. Ma'am will try to do something. So I think meanwhile, whoever wants to talk can just unmute and talk for today. Yeah. All right. So is the first question clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Any doubts, anyone? See, actually, when you say you don't have doubts, that's going to be a little, yeah, I'm not going to take it because the chapter is not so easy, okay? Because HCF, LCM, you've done it long back. The numbers that they give you are also sometimes difficult, bigger numbers. So please ask, okay? And it's always better to come. A lot of you asked questions before we started the session. It's always better to come prepared for these online classes, you know, especially with the subject that we are dealing with. So can I proceed to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Chandan, Chandan, could you do the question better? Chandan, are you there? Let's ask somebody else. Aditya? Can you hear me, children?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, great. Aditya, are you there? Okay, what's wrong? Akshat, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Akshat, did you get the first answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, see, the form is A is equal to BQ plus R, right? So, what is your first step? Of course, Yadunandan has already shared the answer with us. What is your first step? A equal to BQ plus R. What did you write?
420 is equal to 66 into 6 plus 20.
Perfect.
So A
Very
is
good.
equal to BQ plus.
Very good. Very good. Was that Akshat?
Ma'am, that was Amok.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. So the
Good
question
morning,
is,
Deepti.
yes, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
You've
ma'am.
been made the co-host, okay?
Okay, great, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, my question is to Akshat. Akshat, are you there, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Akshat, so what is your first step? A equal to BQ plus R. What did you write?
Ma'am, I actually did it in the long division method.
Yeah, so the method is shown on the screen, okay? So from the long division method, you have to put it in the form of A equal to BQ plus R. See, that is what you're learning new. All right. So they will not ask you to put it in long division method, right? So the question will be to put it in Euclid's division algorithm. So how will you write the first step? It will be, see, A is the dividend, okay? Look at the first step. I think everybody should pay attention. I'm explaining this again. So there are 4 steps here, okay, to reach the answer, to reach the HCF. We are looking at first step, right? First step, dividend is 420, divisor is 66, quotient is 6, and remainder is 24. Okay, is that okay, Akshat?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when I say A is equal to BQ plus R, this is last, yeah, we did it in the last session. So A is the dividend, B is the divisor, Q is the quotient, and R is the remainder. Actually, this A equal to BQ plus R is nothing but dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, which we've learned in our lower classes. It's just, you know, the way of representation is different. Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
your first step, I'll help you with the first step. Again, Yadunandan had shared the answer with us. The first step will be 420 is equal to 66 into 6 plus 24. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what would be the next step now? 66 is equal to? Akshat?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 66 will be equal to? Second step. Look at the second step on the screen.
Is equal to 24 into 2 plus 18.
Very good. That is your step 2. Perfect. What would be the third step?
24 is equal to 18 into 1 plus 6.
Perfect. You've got it. Okay. And the fourth step will be?
18 is equal to 6 into 3 plus 0.
Plus 0. Yeah. So when you reach 0, that's where your HCF stops. Okay. And the last term that you get, the last divisor that you get becomes the HCF of the two numbers. So therefore, the HCF here is equal to 6. All right. Yeah. So what you would all do is you can actually write like this, like shown on the screen, but this is division method. So after you write this, below this, your answer should be put in the form of A equal to BQ plus R, which is your Euclid's division algorithm. Okay? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. So yeah, fine. Let's look at the next question. So your next question is 255 and 867. That's the question. 255 plus 867. I'm sorry, why am I saying plus? It's HCF 255 and 867. Very good, Amisha. That was quick. Amisha, keep your answer ready, okay? I might ask you to share the answer with the class. Pratyush, yes, correct answer. Children, don't forget to put it in the form of A equal to BQ plus R, okay? Because this question is specific to Euclid's division algorithm. So I've taken this question from the first exercise, first main, third bit. Yes, Tarun, that is the correct answer. Surya, very good. Correct answer. Nandini, correct. Rakshit, correct. Very good. Okay, Amisha can't share the answer. That's fine. Niharika, Ashwin, all your answers are correct. Tanav, yes. Tanav, yours is the correct answer. Tanav, can you share your answer with us?
It's Ahan, ma'am. He
Oh,
isn't
sorry.
here.
Acha, theek hai, sorry. So, Ahan, can you share your answer with us? Okay, I'll just move from this thing to this. Yeah. Ahan, or anybody for that matter, anyone who's written it in Euclid's division algorithm, can share the answer. Oh, great. Would you? Okay, there's nothing to explain. Good job. Very good. So those are the steps, children. Those of you who are finding it difficult, check your answer. So the HCF of 867 and 255 is 51.
Ma'am,
Haan, beta.
ma'am, is it necessary to do long division? Can we like
No.
just do normal
Yes.
division and then take it? Like
what is the Euclid's division, right?
yeah, like
Yes.
for
Like the one shown on the.
No, like for 420 you divide it, then you'll get the remainder and everything. And the next step 255 you again divide it. So like until you keep dividing and then you get 0, can we like do the normal division itself, or is it like?
So see, the normal division and the HCF division are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to get the minimum remainder, see the remainder that you get in each step should be lesser than the divisor.
Okay.
When you're doing normal division, what is the process? The remainder should be less than the divisor, right? So
Yeah.
so even after you do the normal division, when the remainder is not 0, in your next step you have to take the divisor of the first step and put it as dividend.
Okay.
So that becomes the HCF division.
Okay. Okay.
So normal division will not give us HCF.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Pratyush, very good. Good job. Can we proceed to the next question, children? Are you all
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
Yeah. So one more question, and I think that should help us. Okay. So this question is 100. Okay, 196 and 38,220. 196 HCF of 196 and 38,220 using Euclid's division algorithm. Wow, I didn't expect such quick replies. Very good, Nandini, Surya, Pratyush, good job. So this is also from the NCERT textbook. Very good, Abhishek, Ashwin, correct answers. Very good. How are you so quick? Great. Lalit, Amisha, all correct answers. We'll wait for a minute before one of you. Vansh, check your answer once again. Sahil, there's a slight mistake. Yes, Vansh, that is the correct answer. Sahil, there's a slight mistake in your answer. Okay, somebody is texting me saying everybody's using calculators. If you're doing that, please don't. You're not allowed to do that in the exam. Yeah, correct answer. Amog. No, Amog, there's a slight difference. Amog, check the answer once again. Yes, Sahil, that is the correct answer. So I'm going to ask one of you to share your answer. So I hope the question, I can remove the question, right? 196 and 38,220. That is the question. Let's have Adi.
Ma'am?
Adi, can you share your answer with us?
Ma'am, 1 second, ma'am. I'll just do it.
Okay, do. Huh?
From the answer.
Okay, we will discuss the answer in some time. I've
Ma'am,
asked Adi to share.
Ma'am, is it one? It's not 195, right? I got 195 because
even I got 195 at the start.
Ma'am, when you multiply it, you'll get it like that. Actually, you can write it as 196 into 195. You can write
Yeah.
it
So who's this?
Ma'am, Amog.
Yeah, Amog. 196 into 195 is giving you 38,220, right? So here, when you divide, 196 is your divisor. So that's why the HCF becomes 196.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, till Adi shares his screen, I'll show these steps for you all so that it's convenient.
98 is the answer, ma'am.
Huh? No.
98.
No. This is showing 90.
This one is showing 98.
I know.
This one
There's
is showing
something.
98.
Yeah. There's something wrong in this.
Ma'am, and 196 into 19 is not 196.
Yeah. There's some mistake in this. I think I should just stop sharing it. So now, one of you has to do it and show. Adi, is your answer ready?
Ma'am, I got 98.
Yes, Ahan, you can directly directly multiply. Yes, you can do that. So Ashwin says you will share. Yeah, go ahead, Ashwin. I think we are wasting time. We joined late also today. So Ashwin, go ahead. Adi, I'll come back to you later for the next question.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we can directly divide also, no, ma'am, 195.
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Yes, Ashwin, go ahead. So that's 38,220 is actually 196 multiplied by 195 added to 0. Yeah. Abhishek, what's your question? I didn't get you. Abhishek?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the
Next
doubt, beta?
question's answer, ma'am.
I didn't give you the next question yet.
Ma'am, but I already solved it.
Okay. So yes, Ashwin, that is the correct answer. So see, to get that 195, I remember somebody asked me, yeah, that can we do the normal division? That is what you have to do because the number is big here, right? So you can do the normal division. So what am I trying to say? You can divide 38,220 by 196 using the normal division that you've learned. Okay. So to get 195, okay, and then of course you can say that the HCF here is, because 196 multiplied by 195 gives you 38,220. Now what is HCF? Only the common factors, right? So the common factor here is 196 and not 195. So I hope this part is clear to all of you. I'm going to explain it in a very simple way. So we have two numbers. The first one is 196. Now what you're doing is you're writing 196 as 196 itself. Okay. And 38,220 is being written as 196 into 195. So what is common to both the numbers? 196 is common. That is the highest common factor. And hence HCF is 196 and not 195. Is that part clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Ashwin. So children, this was the first question of the first exercise. Okay. Now all the other questions, question number 2, 3, 4, 5, I will discuss it after I finish the remaining exercises, because that will help you understand those questions well. Okay, because these questions are a little theoretical and they need a lot of understanding. I'm not sure how convincing it would be in an online session like this. So we will come back to question number 2, 3, 4, 5 later. Okay, so for now, after this class, you can try solving more questions to find HCF of two numbers, and you can practice to put it in the form of Euclid's division lemma, which is A equal to BQ plus R. Okay, so that's something that you can do after this class. We have taken 3 questions today. You need to practice a lot because one question will surely be there in the exam. Yeah. So any doubts related to this till whatever we've done till now? So the proof is not as such needed. Somebody is asking, do we need the proof? No, we don't. It's not given in the book as well. So it's basically like, yeah, you should just know the algorithm. You should know how to calculate HCF, and you should know how to put it in the form of A equal to BQ plus R. That is what is required for the class. Yeah. So we will now proceed to the second exercise, exercise 1.2, which is known as the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay. Again, just like Euclid's division lemma, the name is big, but when you actually go through it, it is very simple concept. Okay. So it's a very easy exercise. So let's hope in the next 1 hour, we are able to finish the exercise. I'll first explain the theory. You can just take down notes if you wish to, and keep asking doubts for every slide. Yeah. So 2 things in this chapter. First one is Euclid's division algorithm, which we've learned today. Yeah. And the next topic is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. All right. So let me start sharing the screen. So to know what exactly is fundamental theorem of arithmetic, what you have to know is the factor tree that you learned in your lower classes. Okay, so here I'm taking a number 990, and I'm sure all of you remember how to do the factor tree. And what would the factor tree give us? It would give the representation of 990 in the form of prime numbers. Okay, so what I have got here on screen is 990 is equal to 2 into 5 into 11 into 3 into 3. Okay, and they have written it, like you can see, they have written it as 2 into 3 to the power 2 into 5 into 11. Okay, so I'll explain you. I'm coming to that, what exactly does the theorem mean. But then, to understand the theorem, what is the previous knowledge? This is the previous knowledge. Okay, you just have to know the factor tree. Given any number to you, how do you do that factor tree? Okay, I hope all of you know this. It's basic thing that you've learned in grade 4 or 5, I guess. Yeah, so this is the prerequisite to understand the theorem. Yeah, so the theorem is called fundamental theorem of arithmetic. And what is the basic thing that you should know? Given any number, how do I factorize? Yeah, so how do I do that factor tree? And what do I get in the end? I get the value of 990 as a product of primes, as a product of prime numbers. Yeah, so 990 can be written as 2 into 5 into 11 into 3 into 3. Yeah, is there anyone who doesn't remember this? You can text in. All of you remember, right? I think just by looking at it, I'm sure all of you have understood, and shouldn't be a problem. Is there anyone who doesn't remember the factor tree? Okay, so I think everybody is clear with that. So we'll start with the theorem now. Yeah. All right. So the basic idea, you don't have to solve anything. Just sit back and listen to everything that's being told to you, right? 10 minutes of understanding, and I think you can comfortably do the exercise. And any doubts, you keep asking, yeah, simultaneously. So again, I still haven't shown you the theorem, the actual definition or the statement of the theorem. So let's look at the basic idea that you should know. Okay, so it says the basic idea is that any integer above 1, okay, that means any integer more than 1, is either a prime number, or it can be made by multiplying prime numbers together. So what do they mean by saying that? Suppose the first number I take is 2. 2 is a prime number, so 2 is written as 2 itself. Okay, 3 is a prime number, so 3 is written as 3 itself. Now come to 4. 4 is not prime, 4 is composite. So how do you express 4 as? You express 4 as 2 into 2. 4 is written as 2 into 2, and this 2 into 2 is a product of primes. Okay, so I want you to understand these two terms. Sorry. So the number that you take, any number that you take, okay, that number will either be a prime number or it will be a composite number. If it's a prime number, you don't have anything to do with it. Okay, so it just, the number remains as it is. But in case I take a composite number, what do you see in the slide? You see that every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes. 4 is being written as 2 into 2. 6 is written as 2 into 3. 8 is written as 2 into 2 into 2. 9 is written as 3 into 3. So each of the composite numbers can be written as product of primes. Okay, and this continues. So if you look at the screen, they have taken a lot of other numbers. So if it's prime, it just stays like that. If it's not prime, it can be written as product of primes. Are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any doubts?
No.
Yeah. Let me know if I'm going fast, okay? Because it's not a normal classroom. You just don't get to know. So can we move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So now comes the definition. So any integer greater than 1 is either a prime number or can be written as a unique product of prime numbers, ignoring the order. Okay, so before I explain this, I want some of you to unmute yourself and explain the statement. I just showed you the explanation in the previous slide. Now we are going to look at everything that's written here: prime number, unique product, ignoring the order. So all this, what does this mean? We are going to discuss everything. Yeah. So to begin with, I think all of us should be clear about what are prime numbers and composite numbers. So let's have.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yeah, who's that?
Abhinav.
Okay, Abhinav. So
Ma'am, so a prime number is any number that has only the factors as 1 and the number itself.
Very good.
And composite numbers are the numbers that have more than 2 factors.
Yes, true. Very good, correct. So that is the answer. One example of a prime number, Abhinav?
2, 3, 5, 7. And composite 4, 6, 8.
Very good, correct. So that is the definition of prime numbers and composite numbers. Let's ask Gangotri, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Gangotri, in the statement that is being shown, okay, what do you understand? Explain in your own words. Any integer greater than 1. So take some integer.
3.
3, very good. So you've taken 3. Is 3 a prime number?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So if I take some integer, okay, that integer will either be a prime number. If it is not prime number, then it can be written as a unique product of prime numbers. All right. Now, Gangotri, take a composite number. Gangotri. चली गई क्या? Gangotri. Ishika.
Hello.
Hello, Gangotri, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Gangotri, give an example of composite number, beta.
4, ma'am.
4 is a composite number. Very good. So 4 can be expressed as
2 into 2.
2 into 2. Very good. Now, what is that term that they have written unique? Unique क्यों लिखा हुआ है? Why did they write unique? What do you think? So 4, see, first part, very good. Okay. 4 is equal to 2 into 2. So 4 is a composite number and you're expressing 4 as product of prime numbers.
2 is unique product. So they have written as unique product, I think.
2 is unique product. Okay, not very clear. Can somebody explain that term unique? Why did they say unique product of?
Unique meaning it's different. So like it's different from the actual prime number.
Okay.
So,
can you explain?
So basically, suppose we're taking 4 itself. 4 is different from the number 2.
Yes.
So that's why they called it.
It's a perfect square.
No, ma'am, it's not like that.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Who's this? Tell your name first,
Kashvi.
okay? Yeah, Kashvi. Yeah.
Okay. The product of each prime numbers is different. So when you take a certain set of prime numbers, that product is called unique because the products of prime numbers are usually different.
Can you explain with an example, Kashvi? I think you've got the logic. Explain with an example.
So if we take 4, it's 2 square. And if we take 9, it's 3 square. And then 10, it'll be 2 into 5. So each has a different set of prime numbers and it is unique.
Very good. Very good. Correct. You're right. Perfect answer. Good job. So, anybody else, any other explanation for the same thing?
Ma'am, can I try?
Who's this?
Dave.
Yes, Dave, go ahead.
Ma'am, unique product here is that a prime number like 2 can only be multiplied with 2 to get 4, or
Yes.
a number like 6 can only be multiplied with 2 and 3 to get 6. Because
Perfect.
both 2 and 3 are prime numbers, so it's a unique one.
Exactly. Very good. So that is the explanation, right? For those of you who've not understood, you will understand by the end of this session, right? So again, a very simple logic, which they have put it, in a complicated way, right? And the name looks like really big, the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. It's nothing at all. Okay, so it just says that if you have a prime number, it's just prime. If it's not a prime, it has to be a composite number. Composite number can be written as product of primes. Why is it unique? Because every number, like they pointed out, like Kashvi pointed out, every number is going to have a different product. So like for example, 6 is 2 into 3. Now 2 into 3 cannot be the answer for some other number. It is unique only for the number 6. Okay, suppose I take 8. I'm saying 8 as 2 cube, 2 into 2 into 2. Now 2 into 2 into 2, this product of primes cannot be the answer for some other number. That is just not possible. So that is the meaning of saying unique product of prime numbers. Every composite number can be expressed as a unique product of prime numbers. Now in the bracket, ignoring the order, how do you understand that?
Ma'am, can I answer?
Yeah, who's this? Haan beta, bolo.
So like say the number 6, we're taking the composite number 6.
Yeah.
It can be written as 2 into 3 or 3 into 2. It doesn't matter what order it is in.
Perfect.
That
is the answer.
Combination of numbers is the same. The order doesn't matter.
The order doesn't matter. Exactly. So that's a beautiful example, simple example. 6 is equal to 2 into 3. Now 6 can be written as 2 into 3, or you put it as 3 into 2. The order doesn't matter. Yeah. So that is what the fundamental theorem of arithmetic is. That is the definition. So is everybody clear?
No.
Yeah. So a few points quickly, and then I think we can start with the exercise. Just 1 second. Yeah. So that's one example on the screen for people who've not understood. So 42 is written as 2 into 3 into 7. So that is one example. And it says, try doing for others. So let me ask somebody. Monavi, are you there? Monavi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Monavi, how about others? Can you see the last one? So express 30 as product of primes. That's your question.
Yeah, so 30 can be written as 3 into 2 into 5.
Perfect. That is the answer. Very good. So 2 into 3 into 5 is the answer, children, right? Now, if you're able to do it orally, great. Otherwise, what do you do? That factor tree I was showing you, the LCM thingy that you do. Yeah. So you can just go ahead with that. So correct answer, Monavi. 30 can be expressed as 2 into 3 into 5. And this 2 into 3 into 5 is unique only for the number 30. Yeah. Now the next one is 33, which is like pretty simple. It can be done orally. Let's have who will answer this? Rishi? Rishi, are you there?
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes, who's this?
Ma'am, it's Riddhi.
Yes, Riddhi. Yeah, go ahead. So 33 will be?
It's equal to 3 into 11.
It's 3 into 11. Very good. That is the correct answer. 3 into 11. Yeah, that was, I hope that's clear to everyone. Now let's quickly move on to the next slide. All right. So any of the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. are either prime numbers or can be multiplied by or can be made by multiplying prime numbers together. And there is only one, a unique set of prime numbers that works in each case. This is what is the understanding of the definition. So for those of you who are not clear, you can ask doubts. So any number that you pick up. So what does the fundamental theorem of arithmetic say? Okay, let me ask somebody actually to explain in your own words. Sheikh Mohammed Iqbal. Are you there? Mohammed Iqbal? Okay, see, this is what happens. People log in and then they just go off. Vishnu?
Hello.
Hello, is it Vishnu? Explain the theorem in your own words.
Means the prime number.
Yeah.
Ma'am, in this it's saying that more than one number of integer is known as prime number.
Okay, that's actually not the correct this, but okay, fine, go ahead.
And when we find a prime number, there is only few of them which are rarely or unique.
Okay, suppose the number 6. What is it? Is it prime or composite?
Cons.
And number 6. The number 6, is it a prime number or is it a composite number?
Composite number.
Very good. Or how can you express this that number as product of primes? How will it be? 6 will be equal to
2 into 3.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Iqbal, thank you. Let's have somebody else explain. Tanya, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Tanya. Go ahead, explain the theorem in your own words.
Okay. So if any integer greater than 1 is either a prime number or any other number can be written in the form of a unique prime product, which is nothing but you can write it like example, if you take like 30 we had done before, you can write 30 in the form of 2 into 3 into 5.
Yeah.
So
correct.
In that way you can just find the.
Good. Thank you. All right. So I think most of you, I hope you have understood the theorem, and it should be convenient to do the exercise. Exercise is pretty simple. So okay, this also has been discussed, right? Suppose you take the number 22, it can be written as 2 into 11 or 11 into 2. So what it says is you have to ignore the orders. I'm going to quickly move on to the next slide. There's nothing much that you have to discuss on this. We've already discussed what it means by ignoring the order. 22 here, for example, can be written as 2 into 11 or 11 into 22. Yeah. Quickly the next one. Yeah, so this is important, but then again, very easy to understand. So let's have, I think I end up asking the same people again. Ritvik, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Ritvik, can you explain the slide that's being shown? We may have to repeat a prime number. What does that mean?
Ma'am, so here example 12 is given. So the only way in which it can be written is 2 into 2 into 3.
Yes.
So you can just club 2 and 2 and write it as 2 square into 3.
Yes.
And
so why,
since there's no other yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so since there's no other possible combination other than 2 into 2 into 3, so we have to repeat them.
Exactly. Very good. And can we write it as 4 into 3?
No, ma'am, because 4 is not a prime number, so
very good.
We can't
Very
write
good.
it in that way.
Yes. So I hope this slide is also clear to everyone. We may have to repeat a prime number. I think best example that comes to my mind right now is 4. 4 is 2 into 2. So you're basically repeating number 2, right? So we might have to repeat a number, that is okay. but you can't put a composite number in it. So for 12, you can't put it as 4 into 3. That's not possible because 4 is not prime. Yeah. So unique combination is 2, 2, 3. 2 into 2 into 3. That is the unique combination, which is for the number 12. I think you shouldn't be having any doubts. If you have, you can just text me in. So let's quickly start with, okay, there's more. Okay, so on the screen, you see a few more examples from number 2 to 14. They've just made the concept more clear. So if it's prime, they've just written it as prime. If it's composite, they have expressed it as product of primes. Yeah, so some examples there on the screen. So in short, what is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic? It is nothing but expressing a composite number as a product of primes. That is what you have to understand. Okay, I don't see any doubts coming in. I think it's pretty easy to understand. I think that sums it up. So just read it and I think you should get it. So summary, the fundamental theorem of arithmetic is like a guarantee that any integer greater than 1, okay, so it guarantees you that if you take an integer which is greater than 1, it is either prime, so the number has to be either a prime number. If it is not a prime number, that means it has to be a composite number, and that composite number can be made by multiplying prime numbers. When you are multiplying prime numbers, there is only one way to do that in each case. That means each of the cases that you're taking is unique, and you're going to ignore the order, and the prime numbers can be repeated. Yeah, so that sums it all. Just one thing that we missed here: why does it say any integer greater than 1? Why are we not taking 1? Any answers?
One is neither prime or composite.
Very good, very good, very good. So the theorem actually deals with prime numbers and composite numbers. Now we are not taking 1 because 1 is neither prime nor composite. Yeah, so 1 is a unique number. If you remember, I always used to say this in class, that that taking 1 as a prime is a what? Is a crime. Okay, taking 1 as a prime is a crime. So 1 is neither prime nor composite. It is a unique number. So that's why it says any integer greater than 1. Yeah, so this is the first. Oh, am I showing all answers? All right, I think I'll just use the screen. Okay, children. So I'm taking the first question of exercise 1.2. Okay, it says express each number as a product of its prime factors, and the first number that's given is 140. Okay, try doing it. Some of you have to share your screen because yeah, the answer. Okay, that's quick. Ashwin, Surya, correct answer. I repeat the question again. Express the number 140 as a product of its prime factors. Yes, very good, children. Very good. So many correct answers. Rishabh, Amisha. So see, when the number is big, go for that LCM thing. Okay, go for the factor tree. So I want one of you, Amog, correct answer. Niranjana, correct answer. Aditi, correct answer. Abhinav, Rish. Yes, very good. Ashwin, shall I share? Ashwin, you're the only one who's doing it. Let's have somebody else. Ria, can you do that? Can you share your answer with us? Ishika, correct answer. Good. Ria?
I'll try.
Okay. I want you to do that that factor tree, okay? Show it by factor tree or show it by that LCM thing. Siddharth, correct answer. Very good. Parul, correct answer. Yes.
I've got the answer, but I couldn't send it to you.
Acha. Okay, fine. Don't reveal the answer. It's fine. Meanwhile, because so many of you have done it, I'll just share the next question also till Ria shares the answer. So the next one is yeah, the next one is 156. Yes, Aditya, that is the correct answer. Okay, Surya, that's fast. I hope you people are you're not sitting with the textbook and just looking at the answers and giving in. That's super fast. Good job. So many of you. Very good. Amog, Rishabh. Priya?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I did it. I know I did it directly. I didn't like do it in the factor tree or the
Okay, so I
LCM
wanted,
method.
so I wanted it that way. Can you do it or no?
If I do it, then I'm using my laptop, so I can't take the photo.
Okay, okay, fine, no issues. Yes, Kashvi, I can see your messages. Anyone would like to share except Ashwin? I want one of you to do the factor tree method and show me the answer. Pratyush, no, Pratyush has also done it before. See, children, okay, fine. I'll do one thing. Oops. I'll do one thing. I'll give you the next number. See, this number is a big number. You cannot obviously give me the direct answer. So I want you to share your answer with me, okay? So in your notebooks, everyone, right? Please do not tell me, yeah, I don't have a book. You can't say that. So this is 3,000, yeah, 3,825. Okay, so do it using the factor tree method or the LCM method and give me the answer. $3,825. You have to find the, it's definitely a composite number. You have to put it as the product of prime factors. Ashwin, you can simplify it further. Yes, Surya, that is the correct answer. Yes, correct. Very good, Ashwin. Amisha, correct. Amok, correct answer. Pratyush, correct answer. Yes. Anyone, can you volunteer? Rishabh, yes, good answer, correct answer. I want you to show it in the prime factorization method.
I got it, ma'am. The tree.
Yeah.
Tree.
Okay. Okay. Yes, please share.
I got it, ma'am.
Yeah, please share. Any one of you.
Is it correct?
Sharing first.
Ma'am, is mine correct?
Who's this? Okay.
Sahil.
Okay, wait, I missed your answer. 1 second. Let me see the chat. Who Sahil, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Sahil. Answer is correct. Good.
That's fine, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So, children, see, this is how. Pratyush, share the screen, beta.
That's Vansh, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, Vansh. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. So, children, see, this is important, okay? Right now, I don't know, most of you would be like, if you have the textbook or if you have calculators or whatever, or of course, you have Google to give you that answer. But yeah, in the exam, this is what is expected, the one that you see on the screen. They will not definitely give you smaller numbers, right? And a big number cannot be done orally, yeah? So steps are required because it comes for 2 marks, okay, 2 to 3 marks sometimes. So steps are mandatory. You cannot put in the direct answer. So this is how you're going to show your answer, right? So in your classwork, the worksheet that I'm sending, the NCERT questions that you're going to do, all of them, presentation is important. So please make sure that you put your answer this way. And then you can write in the end, therefore, 3,285 is equal to 3 square multiplied by 5 square multiplied by 17.
Ma'am,
Yes,
One thing to ask, ma'am. How much marks will real numbers like? What is the weightage of this?
So it's around 11 marks. 11 marks for real
In the
numbers.
exam?
Big chapter.
Yeah, it's a big chapter. 4 exercises.
What about surface area?
Surface area is more. Surface area is around 14 marks.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, I've written it in the LCM method. Is that also correct?
Yes, that is also correct. Yes, it is.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Next question. So this one, okay. I'll skip the fourth one. I think we can do it. Take the fifth bit, which is 7,429. Yeah. 7,429. Okay, Vansh, very good. Kashvi, Surya, correct answer. Surya, can you share your answer with us?
Ma'am, I
Okay.
guess a network issue.
Network problem. Okay, Kashvi, can I share? Yes, you can. Thank you, beta. Please go ahead. Tarun, you need to check your answer once again. Something's wrong. Something, yeah, maybe minute. Yes, Pratyush, that is the correct answer. 7,429. Let's see the answer. Okay, Kashvi, please share your answer. Yes, Tarun, correct answer. Akshat, correct. Kashvi, are you able to do better? Kashvi? Yeah. Yes, very good. Very good. Perfect. So that is the answer, 17 into 19 into 23. So that's how the question could get a little difficult. Okay, so sometimes the prime factors that you're getting, they might go on up to the number 23. Now 23 is maximum. Okay, so beyond 23, they generally don't give it in the exam. So yeah, so you should be thorough with multiples of 17, 19, and 23. That is the answer. Product of prime factors, answer is 17 into 19 into 23. Thank you, Kashvi. So I still have 10 minutes, so I would quickly like to move on to the next question. Any doubts, you can text in. Okay, so the next question is actually yeah, so this is something that you've done before. Let me explain this, and then maybe you can try the second and third bit on the screen. This is question number 2, exercise 1.2. It says find the LCM and HCF of the following pairs of integers. Yeah, so you've been given two numbers and you have to find the HCF and LCM, both of them. And once you get the HCF and LCM, it tells you to verify that LCM into HCF is always equal to product of the two numbers. Yeah, now this is a property that you've studied in your lower grades. Yeah, what does this mean? I'm going to explain with the first one, the first question. You can see the answer solution on the screen. So the numbers are 26 and 91. Okay, so 26 is 2 into 13. Okay, and okay, Surya, that's quick. I'll come to the second one. Just yeah, hold on there. So 26 is 2 into 13. 91 is 7 into 13. Okay, so each of the numbers 26 and 91, which are composite numbers, are expressed as product of primes. That's your first part. 26, 2 into 13. 91, 7 into 13. First and the second step. Now clearly you can see that 13 is the only common factor here. So the HCF will be equal to 13. How do you calculate LCM? See, they have written the answer directly here, which is 2 into 7 into 13. If you want to go back to the old style and calculate LCM using prime factorization, you can do that. Yeah. Actually, in questions like this, when you're finding HCF and LCM, because they haven't mentioned the method, so you can actually go ahead and pick up any method that you're comfortable with. Yeah. So find HCF, find LCM. That's your first part. Then what do? You find the product of the numbers. Okay, so please pay attention. What is the product of the numbers? That's 26 into 91. 26 into 91 is 2366. LCM into HCF, which is 13 into 182, is also 2366. So that is the property that you're going to discuss in the second question. What is the property? If you take any two numbers, okay, the product of those two numbers will always be equal to the HCF multiplied by LCM. So this is a property. In case you're not getting it, then obviously your calculations are wrong somewhere. Maybe HCF that you've calculated or anything somewhere you've gone wrong. Yeah. So this is the property that you need to use in this question. Are you clear, children? Is the explanation fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what are we doing? We are taking two numbers. We are finding the HCF and LCM of both the numbers in any way, in whichever way you are comfortable with. Yeah. Once you do that, you need to verify the property. Product of the two numbers will always be equal to LCM into HCF. So here 2366 is what you've got on both the LHS and the RHS. So based on this, try the next question. Yeah. So you don't have to send me your answers. See, when you are able to verify, when you see that the left hand side is equal to right hand side, you know that your answer is correct. Yeah. So just do it yourself. I'll ask one of you to share the screen. So 510 and 92. Step 1, what will you do? Find HCF, then find LCM, then take the product. Anirudh, are you there? Anirudh? Anirudh? No. Amrit? Amrit, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Amrit, so did you start solving the second one?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing it, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, what is the HCF?
Ma'am, 2.
Okay, yeah, Amrit had to answer. Yeah, 2 is the correct answer. HCF is 2. Amrit, did you get HCF equal to 2?
I'm still doing it, ma'am.
Doing it. Okay, fine. How many of you have finished? You can just text in saying that you've got the answer. Okay. Surya has got, Ashwin has got. Only 2. Amog, Nandini, very good. Vishnu, Tanav, Pratyush, yes, very good. Yeah, so people who've got the second answer can actually move on to the third. Yes, Amisha, that is the correct answer. Very good. Yes, Rishabh, correct. Good job. Yes, Tanya. Ashwin, the third one. Check once again. Doesn't match with the answer at the back. Yes, Lalit. Very good. That is the correct answer for the third one. Good job. Pratyush, yeah, correct. Correct. Yes, Surya, correct answer. All right. I think most of you are getting it. Yes, Rakshit, that is the correct answer. I will. Yes, correct. Yes, Niharika, that is the correct answer. Yes. Yes, Ashwin, now it's correct. Good. So I'll show the answer for the second one. I think most of you have got it. Or if not, you can just check your answer. Second one is this. Okay, so you can just cross check your answers, everyone. Question number 2. Yes, Ashwin, that is the correct answer. Very good. Monavi, correct answer. Very good. Third one, yes, that is the correct answer. This is not Tanav, right? Some other name you told me. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Ahan, Ahan.
Ahan, okay. Okay,
Ma'am,
no
can you
issues.
show the third question?
I should show the third question. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. So it's 336 and 54.